Hello, and welcome to my little corner in Eorzea. In recent times, I've noticed that with the recent influx of new players in Final Fantasy XIV, a lot of them get confused about the abstract terms and acronyms being thrown around by the community, like GCGs or FCs. So I'm making this video to help clarify the meaning of those words to players new to both Final Fantasy XIV and MMORPGs in general. Now, let's begin with the acronym that gave me the idea to make this video, as I saw someone asking what it meant in Shout Chat: GCDs. Firstly, GCD means Global Cooldown. It's the wait time between casting your spells and weapon skills. By default, it begins at 2.5 seconds, but it can be reduced by your gear's skill speed or spell speed stats, or job abilities that may reduce the GCD by a certain amount passively, like the Reaper Enshroud ability that reduces it to 1.5 for its duration. Next up, I want to talk about OGCDs or off GCGs. Those are abilities outside the global cooldown and are generally used between GCG skills, making sure you're always pressing buttons. With those two out of the way, let's move on to weaving. Weaving is what's called when you use the OGCD ability between two GCGs. And similarly, double weaving is when the rotation requires you to weave two OGCD's abilities inside the window between GCGs, such as the Dragoon Opener. Now, I want to talk about some general mechanics you'll find being thrown around by enemies, be it in duties or trials. There's quite a few mechanics you'll come across in your Final Fantasy XIV endeavors, and the most common one is AoE markers. They can come in many flavors and sizes, but generally speaking, if you see an orange circle on the floor, you stay right away from it. You also see quite a few of those, they're called Stark markers, where you're going to need to group up together to survive the mechanic. Those can also come in many different flavors, like the circle AoEs or line AoEs. Now finally, I would say the third more common mechanic is staggers. Now this can be a bit more complex because you're going to need to see the context to know what to do with it. Some could be made official, like the Dragoon Eye, but most will be a mechanic to be solved, like in this example where I used the tether to jump to the next platform over. Now for more broad words and acronyms related to Final Fantasy XIV. FCs, or free companies, are what we call guilds in this game. Groups of friends who team up to socialize and do content, and can also have a big decorated house. GC, or Grand Company, are the three military forces related to the three main hubs, and which you're required to pick up during your MSQ adventures. PF stands for Party Finder, where you can find groups to do content such as raids, trials, and even simpler things like fates. DF, or Duty Finder, is the menu where you can queue up from random groups and where you can do your daily duty roulettes. Remember to do those every day for nice rewards. A train can be in relation to either a fate train or a hunt train, where a group of players team up together to farm fates or rare mob spawns for numerous rewards, and also serves as a fun social activity. In most MMOs, playable roles are usually called classes, but in Final Fantasy XIV, due to lore reasons, we call them jobs, which is also the community term for them. Now let's talk about the acronyms relating to job categorization. DOW means Disciple of War, which are your physical combat jobs, which includes all 4 tanks, the 4 melee DPS, and both ranged physical DPS. DOM means Disciple of Magic, and includes our 4 casters and our 4 healers. DOL means Disciple of Land, and includes the 3 gathering jobs. And now, finally, DOH means Disciple of the Hand, and includes all crafter jobs. Knowing those categorizations will be helpful on your journey, as NPCs you usually refer to those names when you try to buy gear, saving you time looking for what you need. And that's all for today, folks! If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you want help with other terms I haven't covered, leave it in the comments so I can do a follow-up video going more in-depth on the subject. And I also plan on covering more things about Final Fantasy XIV, be it guides or general content about the game. Until next time, bye!